In this micro lesson, you'll learn about the new Vigor passive effect and ultimate rotations in RuneScape. A micro lesson is a short and to-the-point video that teaches you a single concept. This time, one of our combat and PVM experts, Thaxy, who's a teacher on the Raid FC staff, is going to teach us about adrenaline management.
This microlesson is designed for a slightly more advanced audience than our early microlessons, for players who are manually activating their thresholds and ultimates. If you're not there yet, you should still have something to learn from this lesson, and maybe this lesson can be motivation to go out and try this with the new toys available this week. This week, the Ring of Vigour was made available as a passive, so let's talk about how to use the Vigor buff in a combat rotation. Very simply, the Vigor effect reduces the base cost of ultimates and special attacks by 10% of their starting value, and applies itself before other cost reduction buffs. To use the Vigor well, you also need to have an understanding of ultimate rotations. We're going to talk through this using a simple 1-minute timeline, with each tick on the timeline representing 6 seconds. We'll use ranged as an example, but the same setup can be applied to magic or melee, just substituting in the respective abilities. Put very simply, the highest damage part of our rotation happens when our damage boosting ultimate is active, and the weakest part of our ultimate is right after we use it, when we've just spent all of our adrenaline and we aren't able to use thresholds yet. That's where buffs like the Vigor and the Conservation of Energy or Heightened Senses Archaeology relics come in. These effects leave us with some extra adrenaline after we use an ultimate. Having some extra adrenaline after we use our ultimates allows us to fire off those threshold abilities several abilities earlier, helping us capitalize on the time we spent in our ultimate. Couple these with the Adrenaline Potion or the Limitless ability, and we can begin using thresholds again within just a few seconds of activating our ultimate. See how short that early damage trough becomes with this? Also notice that when we added these things to our rotation, something else becomes available at the end of our ultimate. Our 20-second cooldown thresholds have started to come off cooldown again. And this is huge because it means that we get a second round of those thresholds during our ultimate rotation. That's the true value of early adrenaline, because it means the majority of our thresholds will be activated during our ultimate. The last thing to bring up with this is the Planted Feet perk. Planted Feet is a switch, and I know that's a dirty word for a lot of people, but it's also the single most powerful invention perk in the right hands. If active when we use Sunshine or Death's Swiftness, it extends our ultimate by 8 seconds. On its own, that doesn't sound huge, but again, the true value is in extending that threshold window, usually allowing us to use 2 to 3 additional thresholds under our ultimate, letting us dip into even a double round of those 30-second cooldown thresholds or special attacks. Using this as a framework, we should finish our ultimate with around 50% adrenaline, leaving us with 20 seconds to use a threshold or 2 while we build back adrenaline to be ready for our next ultimate. As always, remember these microlessons are intentionally brief. There are so many versions of an ultimate rotation to fit your situation, and this is just an example of a commonly used rotation on a stationary attackable target. If you have any questions about specific situations or other adrenaline management tools, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.